Hey peeps, Justin here. Welcome you to otakusandgeeks.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing the video game Maid of Sker, which is a first-person horror game available for your console devices and your PCs as well. As always, I give you a brief synopsis, so here we go. Maid of Sker is a first-person survival horror game set in a remote hotel with a gory and history from British folklore. Armed with only a defensive sound device, you utilize stealth tactics to avoid death amongst a cult of sound-based AI enemies. Set in 1898 and inspired by the haunting Welsh tale of Elisabeth Williams, this is the story of a family empire driven by torture, slavery, piracy, and supernatural mysteries that suffocates the ground of the hotel. So that is the synopsis, and I have to say, for the most part, I enjoyed Maid of Sker. What I did like about it is you play a lot of first-person horror games, and a lot of them, I hate to say, it really all does feel the same. You know when the jump scares are gonna happen, and this is probably me being desensitized because I consume so much horror, because horror is my favorite genre, not just from movies, but books and video games. I consume a lot of horror, so I'm kind of desensitized when it comes to the scares. But one thing I did like about this game is, first let me just talk about the graphics here. The aesthetics is really good. I like the fact that it does stay true to the time that the game is set in, 1898. So you're not gonna see a flashlight anywhere. So the developers made sure that the game was lit with natural light, and not only natural light, but candles around certain locations that you see. So for the most part, you are walking in kind of a natural light lit room. That's the only real source of light, and I thought that added to the tension here, and I thought it worked very well. I do like the gameplay mechanics of this being a sound-based AI system where the enemy, if they hear you, they coming for you. And one way they introduced this to counter that is that you have to cover your mouth using, I'm reviewing this on the PlayStation 4. So you have to cover your mouth in certain areas by using the R2 and crouch to walk. This eliminates the sound quality of it, but you also have to breathe, so you have to know when to release in order so you're not being detected. And I thought that worked very well. The game gets a little bit more easier, and the tension kind of dies down once you do get the sound-based device to really take down the enemies and distract them. But for the opening and for the first half of the game before you get to the mansion, you're really on your toes. You're really scrambling and really trying to figure out puzzles and things like that, which I really did enjoy the puzzles here as well. The puzzles I thought was really good and really challenging at certain points where you have to touch things, you have to press buttons, but the enemy will hear you. So you have to decide when and figure out when to actually touch things, and I thought that worked very, very well. As far as the graphics go, the graphics is nothing that is going to scream PT level of detail and decency, but the graphics are really good. I thought that like I said, the natural lighting works very well. And when you go outside, for those horror fans that are familiar with Michael Bay's horror remakes of Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Friday the 13th. When you go to the outside, I noticed it has that same kind of color and aesthetic feel to it. I know horror fans know exactly what I'm talking about. When you go outside and you see how the bushes are, you see how the trees are, you see how the lighting actually is. And for me, it reminded me a lot of that Friday the 13th aesthetic. And I thought it worked very well. It does add a little bit of a creep factor to it. But I think the real driving force of this game is not only the gameplay when it comes to the enemy AIs, but the soundtrack is really, really good. This game actually features some famous Welsh hymns. Let me see by my notes here. It's by Tia Kalmura, and she does a great bone-chilling rendition of these folk songs. And as you're walking around, you keep hearing this voice, and the music, it just tenses up. It really does complement the atmosphere that the developers were going for. And for the most part, challenging wise, like I said, it gets a little bit easier. It gets a little easier once you get your sound device, and the intensity kind of dies once you're armed and you know how to take down this enemy sound device, enemy base But they have some really creepy visuals here. I did get caught by one of the jump scares, but it's a creepy game. It has some creepy visuals. It does well to, I'm not really familiar with the folklore, but I did do a little bit of research on it. It does a really good job of kind of bringing this folklore horror to life, so I really did enjoy it. So if you're looking for a refreshing horror game, it's something a little bit different, and that's kind of budgeted, I will definitely recommend it. It's $24. It's not too bad. It's not gonna break your bank. It's $24. Something to just check out. It took me at least, I think, 5 to 6 hours to beat this because I wanted to collect everything. I was trying to collect everything, and the visuals is pretty good. The voice acting is really good. The gameplay, like I said, it's pretty standard first-person horror, but a nice element when it comes to using sound to create the tension and to create the visuals. So very artistic game. I'm definitely going to give this a B+ for those who like letters, those who want a actual star rating. It's 3.5 stars. And this is Justin from utilise.geeks.com. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at utilise. Don't forget to like and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and most importantly, visit utilise.geeks.com. We review everything from zombies to anime, or is it anime to zombies? I forgot my own slogan. Anyway, everybody, later days, be safe and take care. Peace.